What I wish I had known before this experience was that grief is different for all people and there's no right and way of doing grief. I also would have liked to have been able to stay in the experience of grieving without needing to get ready for funerals. It was really challenging to want to grieve and want to just be with my family, but then have to organise visits, flights and accommodation for family to come to the funeral. So I would have liked more downtime, more family time, and less kind of organising time just after the experience, because it all happens really quickly.
I don't think anything can prepare you for this. Nothing. You never have the thought in your mind that if my child passes away, how will I react? What will I do? I don't think there's anything really there that could have helped me prepare. I don't think anybody could be prepared for something like this.
I better understand now that men like to fix things. We like to try and fix what's broken, and I realise now that this is not something that is fixable.
I wish I could have known that I would be happy again.
How to grieve properly, I think that would have been helpful. Probably the one thing I wish I'd have known a bit earlier was it's okay to grieve in different ways. I certainly was a bit angrier, and I was trying to help Belinda out however I possibly can to try and cheer her up, but when all she probably needed was a hug and a cuddle.
I wish I had spent more time just in the moment, without sort of thinking about others, just thinking about myself, and thinking about my wife, and thinking about my surviving daughter Addison, as was the case found with when Cameron had passed away. I wish, and same for when Charlotte had passed, I wish I'd spent more time just in that moment of understanding and processing what we'd gone through, as opposed to trying to get up and move on.
At the time, as I said, poor little thing is in a funeral home, waiting for the funeral, which was then actually down in Sydney. But I was asked if I'd like to see her, and which is very good they asked, but naturally my answer was no, gosh, I don't want to see her dead, But I remember, I don't know how long after, a year or two afterwards, I went and heard Mal McKissick, I think his name was, doing a lecture on grief, and he wrote some books on grief. And he said, what they should say to you is, would you like to see, your loved one dead? And then add to that, because we know it's actually healthy for you, or good for you, whatever the words are, to see them. That's that finality. I don't know what the right words are, but it would help you. And I do believe that's the case in my case, where it's kind of like she was just kidnapped and so on, and I would have loved just a time. God, I'd give anything actually for that moment again, just to talk to her, to say goodbye with her there.